Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Brandon. Welcome to Audio Dictionary, where you can find latest album reviews. You can find our band reviews, and you can find live coverage of the concerts that we get. I've been posting a ton of stuff recently, and I will be doing an album review of Carousel Kings Plus Ultra. Most of you probably aren't a fan of pop punk if you're watching this video, but if you do, check it out. I'm going to be doing that, and I'm really excited about that one because I've been listening to it a lot. And like I said, tons of content on the channel. Check it out if you're interested, and tons of awesome stuff, live sets, interviews, things of that nature coming down the pipeline, so be stoked on those. But tonight, we're going to be talking about Cursed Earth's newest record, the Deathbed Sessions. I'm going to preface this in review with this. I have never heard of Cursed Earth before this, and I feel kind of, usually I do a little bit more research on this, but this band really kind of struck me because I got an email about them probably about a month ago, or a little less, and they had this EP slash album. I don't really know what to call it. It's 7 songs, so I think it's an album, but the concept behind this record is that they have a bunch of different vocalists for each specific song, and they all bring a unique tonality, a unique lyrical background, and just overall sculpting of the song, excluding maybe like the instrumentation. But I just thought it was a cool approach. I think it's very much in line with like what a lot of hip-hop rap artists do currently, where they have an album and it has a bunch of features on it. I feel like this one kind of, plays off that sort of, way of thinking, and I definitely appreciate it. But I'm going to go through each track, give you my thoughts and opinions on it, go through some pros and cons, and then finish it out with an overall rating. So the first track is called Fear, and this one features Matt of Kublai Khan, another great band out of Texas that kind of melds hardcore and metalcore. So if you like that sort of stuff, check them out. If you haven't checked them out already, I don't know what you're doing, but you need to go check them out. But this track is one of my favorites. The riffs on this track are just absolutely fat. I love them. It's one of those things that, like, as a guitar player, it's those things that I pick out initially, and right off the bat, they really kind of kicked it out the gate strong. It obviously has a very strong Kublai Khan feel to it, obviously having Matt on it, but I think instrumentally it also has that sort of Kublai Khan-esque feel to it. I'd say more specifically in parts like the first verse, where the kind of beginning half of the song portion of that verse has just kind of a cool bass riff, and a lot of Kublai Khan's kind of songs do that as well, and so you can definitely draw the comparison. And I know that they had said in an interview that they felt like Matt was just kind of the perfect fit for this track, and I couldn't agree more. I think he very much fits very well into this track. I'm also enjoying the sort of darker undertones of this track, harkening to genres of death metal, deathcore, even some symphonic metal. Has that sort of appeal to it, and I feel like this song also has those strong notes as well, and I like that. I think it's a nice change of pace, and it's something cool that gives a little bit of extra flavor to the track. My favorite part is around the minute and 57-second mark to the end. Just that last breakdown was just fantastic. Loved it. Like I said, I think Matt fits perfectly in this track, and that couldn't be understated anymore. I think he really killed it on this track. So we're gonna move into track number 2, which is Rock Bottom, and this one features Nick of Justice for the Damned. I have not heard of this band, sorry Nick, but I will definitely go check out your band now, because vocally I think you really nailed it. I love just the sort of abrasiveness of his vocals. Again, not hearing of his band, it's something that is really cool, because now I can go check out these bands after the fact. And I think his vocals really sound unlike any other vocalist on this record, and that's kind of a high mark to make, but it really is so unique. And as I was listening through this record, it was something that I knew it was him every time I listened to it. So really powerful track. I think it has some really great energy to it as well, and I think it's one of my favorite songs instrumentally. It just kind of works with Nick's vocals. It also works with just the instrumentation going on with it. It's just really high energy. It's one of those songs that I feel like a lot of people would love to throw down to. And again, really powerful track. My favorite part is the 2 minutes and 45-second mark to the end. It is absolutely nuts. They really know how to end a song, and really just hits with just that force, and I love it. Another one of my favorite tracks off the record. So we're gonna move into track number 3, which is Deathbed, and this features Sean and Buka from Make Them Suffer. As in the article that I keep mentioning, they also had spoken with Buka and Sean in the studio helping out with tracks, and so it's really cool for them to be on a track with Cursed Earth. But I really think they brought out a different side of the band. It's a really good combination. I feel like Sean and Buka are really, a great combination, a great pair, and they really play off of each other in a nice way. But this one definitely pulls more of the sort of darker symphonic tones that I had mentioned in Fear, but I think even more so, and with Make Them Suffer being more deathcore, also having a lot of symphonic elements to it. I felt like it was well in their right, well in their lane to do stuff like that. Buka singing is really awesome. I think that for me, it's kind of understated in their work, Make Them Suffer's work, and I feel like she does a really good job of keeping it really dark, really that minor tonality to it, and then Sean backing it up with his fantastic screams, much like I love in a lot of the Make Them Suffer records, and he really shows up in this track. He does everything from kind of like low screams to mid screams to some really great fry high screams as well. And this one also teeters on a bit of a slower pacing to it. It has more of a move kind of like flow to it. And this one just was a nice change up from kind of the more high energy, the fast paced tracks that we had gotten so far. I think the real thing is that it just has a really unique atmosphere to it, and they really brought a different side out to the band. One of my favorite parts on this track is around the 2 minutes and 45-second mark to around the 3 minutes and 10-second mark. That bridge kind of riff breakdown part really works. It feels very much Make Them Suffer inspired, and obviously them being kind of, in hand with what they're doing, Cursed Earth. I think it really works with this track as well. Another favorite track is, if you hadn't already gotten the idea, but again, another favorite track of mine. So we're gonna move into track number 4, which is Joel. This one is Torch, and this one features Joel of Amity Affliction. A really fantastic track. I think this one, out of all the tracks off this record, surprised me the most because it just comes out the gate. It's one of those tracks that I feel like as soon as Deathbed's over with, it just comes out the gate screaming. And it really kind of focuses more on sort of the dark, no, not the dark, the hardcore, the punk kind of fast, in your face sort of feelings. There's some really awesome sort of blast beat maniac moments, and it definitely shows in this track. It is an under 2 minute track, so it's one that as soon as they get it, it just starts. And I'm not the big fan of the Amity Affliction, but I feel like Joel absolutely killed it on this track. He sounds fantastic. It's a short but banger track. It's one of those things that I was totally taken aback from, especially the first initial listen, but as I listen to it more, it still kind of surprises me how good it is. And it is the 5th track on the record, but it's also one of the shorter tracks off the record as well, and it just is brutal. It's a fantastic heavy track that hopefully most of you will get around to listening to. So we're gonna move into track number 5, which is Tyranny Forever, and this features Larissa from Venom Prison. I have not heard of her band either, so I will definitely go check them out as well. She's got just this unique tonality to her scream, and I think one of the big things about this whole collaboration that they're doing is that everyone has a unique sound, a unique vocal prowess. They all have different kind of vocal things or like instrumental things that they added into the track to really kind of make it their own. And I think I appreciate that even more so than just having just the feature. I think that they really kind of created their own musical landscape in each track, and it really creates just a level of cohesiveness, just because the band has laid the groundwork in terms of the instrumentals, but they've allowed the artists to have their own creative liberties on each track, and it really makes for a unique record. But getting back to the song, like I said, her tonality is fantastic, and I think I really dig what she's doing in this track. It definitely keeps more towards the hardcore kind of metalcore roots, especially instrumentally, and also the sort of dark and the sort of minor tonality kind of bleeds well into this track as well. And just that breakdown on this track towards the end, I think it's around the just before the 2:15 mark or something like that. I know this one is also another short one as well. Again, fantastic breakdown, fantastic track, another favorite of mine as well. So we're moving to track number 6, which is Operation. This one features Jack of Castown. Again, another band that I haven't heard of, but I will definitely go give a listen to ASAP. But this one was one of my favorites just because it took me by surprise. That intro is just so nasty. It's got this dark, like, just aggressive tone to it, and I love it. It is one of those songs that, much like Rock Bottom, is right off the bat. I knew what song it was. It was heavy. It's got this unique pacing to it, and it just got riffs to it too, man. Like the whole song is just 2 minutes of pure bliss. The production on this track is A1. Whoever did kind of the real kind of like abrasive like vocal scratches on this track is nuts. I think they did, again, one of those standout tracks that when I'm going through the record, it's just one that I know right off the bat, and I think that's a really great thing. So we're gonna move into the last track, track number 7, which is Burn, and this one features Mark of Aversion's Crown. I was lucky enough to see them with our homies in Sentinels, and these guys rip. Just, if you haven't checked out Aversion's Crown just in general, go give them a listen. They're fantastic. But man, this track just rips. Mark is a beast vocalist. If you haven't heard Aversion's Crown, go do it. And I just have big love for them. But definitely one of those bands that and vocal parts, especially Mark, really brought it. They brought in a lot of elements of what Aversion does. It has some really awesome blast beat moments to it. It's got some really heavy, aggressive just parts that Mark just kind of just feeds into that just like destructive, like aggravated nature of the song, and it is just brutal. It is just brutal AF, man. It's one of those tracks that just hits, and I love it. It just, some might say it's just decimation, and I think it is a fantastic way to end this record, and I really have nothing else to say about this. But some pros and cons: vocally diverse. Obviously, when you have multiple vocalists from multiple different bands, vocal diversity is one of the key main features of this record, and I think they all shine in their own right and make their tracks unique to their own. I think there's a little bit of shock value as well. I think Torch really surprised me, and it was a fantastic track that I would have never thought I would have liked, but actually happened to be so. Brutal. I mean, I feel like that is, if there was one adjective I'd have to use to describe this record, it'd be that, and they really just made it a monster record. Extremely well written, and I'd love to hear bands, not including this band, but if they wanted to, hey, Cursed Earth, if you want to do it again, like, that'd be totally sick, get different vocalists, I'd be about it. But I feel like more bands should do this. If they like lost a vocalist and they don't know what to do, I'd love to hear, bands kind of do like a small EP with a bunch of different vocals on it, and I hope that this inspires other bands to do this sort of thing, because I think it was extremely well written. I think it was, cohesive despite having so many different vocalists and so many different artists on this record. And I think it really culminated in something really heavy, really beautiful too, and really dark. And I think it is a record that is definitely in contention for album of the year for me. Just one that even after I've done this review, I'm probably still going to continue to listen to it after the fact. And so definitely give this one a listen if you haven't already. I don't have any cons about it because I think it is near perfection. And it is one that I highly, 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 highly implore you to go listen to. Hopefully they'll be doing physicals, because I'll definitely be buying it. But definitely, if you're a fan of any of those bands, or you're just a fan of great, heavy, music, definitely give this one a listen. So my overall rating for Cursed Earth, the Deathbed Sessions, I'm going to be giving it a 9.8 out of 10. Fantastic record. Check the links in the description to go check out Cursed Earth. One of the most underrated records of this year. I'm calling it. It is just fantastic. So let me know what your thoughts are on it. It came out yesterday on Friday. As the date of recording this, so I don't know if I'm going to post it tonight or tomorrow, but either way, it is a fantastic record. Please go give some love to Cursed Earth. They're fantastic. Shout outs to Becky from Big Picture. She sends me all the good stuff, so I love it. So go give this a listen. And if you enjoyed this review, share it, like it, subscribe. It goes a long way. Thank you guys for 14,000 subs. It means a lot. Or 1,400. I'm losing track, but it's definitely quite an accomplishment, and thank you guys so much. But like I said, my name is Brandon. We hope you got your fix, and we'll be talking with you soon. Peace. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Of course, if you enjoy what we do, make sure to go check out the other series we do. We do album reviews, we do band interviews, and we do live videos, so definitely go check that out. Hit that subscribe button. It really helps our channel, helps us grow. Make sure to hit that like button as well. Go follow us on social media. That's all down below. We try to keep that as updated as possible. We also made a new website where we'll be posting photos of upcoming concerts and stuff like that, which you can go check out at audioaddictionmedia.com and come get your fix with us, guys. Talk to you later. Deuces.